Newsletters, baby. Newsletters. Monetization with newsletters. Juggling is remarkably relevant. Let's see. People are starting to trickle in, maybe? So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about newsletter monetization. I have an AI newsletter. It has 22,000 AI enthusiasts that are subscribed to it. And I monetize it in a couple of different ways. The first is through direct sponsorships, and the second is through ad networks. If this is the sort of thing that interests you, you're in the right place. Obviously, if you have any question, leave it in the comment section, and I will answer it. So, without further ado, let's begin. I hope you guys are enjoying the royalty-free music that's playing. So I use Beehive for my email platform. I really recommend them, and if you want to know why I recommend them, leave that in the comments. I'll either answer that in this video, or that could be a video all on its own too. So, anyways, I'm in editor mode. When the Body Brain newsletter hits your phone, it's going to look something like this. Absolutely gorgeous, if I don't say so myself. But the main thing that we're going to be focusing on today is a question that I've been getting quite a lot, which is how to monetize. And fair enough. You want to monetize your newsletter as soon as possible. There's definitely a lot of ways to do this, but today we're going to be talking about ads, sponsorships. So this ad in particular was not a direct sponsor of mine. This ad came from Beehive's ad network. So let's talk about direct sponsorships first. So for my direct sponsorships, I use a program called Passion Fruit. Highly recommend them. If you want me to talk about how I set this storefront up, why I do it this way, and a little more information on that, let me know in the comments. I'll either walk you through it right now live, or I'll do a video on it later. Anyways, this is my Passion Fruit storefront. So you get the link, you realize how incredible the newsletter is, and naturally you want to sponsor it. So this is where I'll send you. Body Brain reached 22,000 valuable AI professionals, founders, yada, yada, yada. So it gives you a quick rundown why you should advertise with Body Brain, right? And then it gives you opportunity to book your slot, and gives you a bunch of reasons why you should sponsor the newsletter. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the sponsored shout out. So this is going to be the main sponsor of your newsletter. So it's going to be in sponsorship with, plannable, and then you'll have a sponsorship right smack dab in the middle of your newsletter. But the way I did this one in particular was not through Passion Fruit. It was through the ad network of Beehive. So let's talk about that. How do you get ads in Beehive? The great thing about Beehive and monetizing newsletters is that no matter what size you are, literally if you have like 10 subscribers, you can already start to monetize your newsletter. And the way that works is through their ad network. So they bring sponsors in that pay you, the newsletter creator, on a per-click basis. So if I go into my settings here, I go into monetize, I go into ads. Here's the calendar. See, right now I don't have any available opportunities, but all of these ads have come through the Beehive ad network. So that means there was no outreach required for these. I didn't have to market and go get the clients. Beehive just said, hey, these guys want to sponsor your newsletter. Are you in? Are you out? So, like, this one's going live tomorrow. So let's take a look at this. Writer, transform work with full stack generative AI. I run an AI newsletter, so that's a pretty good fit. They pay $2 CPC. CPC is cost per click. So that means anyone that clicks on it If they open your email and then they click on the writer link, then they will pay you per click. So that's how that works, man. And then you see like a creative version A, that's the one I picked, but you can also pick different versions. So let's see, edit, here you go. That's what I wanted to show you. So they'll send you different ads and they'll have different ad copy. They'll have different graphics that they can use. And then sometimes they'll give you the choice, like here. So you can either do a primary ad or you can do a secondary ad. And the secondary ad would kind of go in the bottom, or anywhere that you choose, but it would go sort of like a classified ad. So if you sponsored Bot Eat Brain this way, let me show you. So Planable was a Beehive ad network partner that I had. So it automatically puts this up here, in partnership with Planable. I don't do any of that, and I'll show you how to implement that on your actual newsletter too. So it says in partnership with Planable, then it has your content, just incredible, you know, in the case of Body Brains, just incredible AI gold. And then in the middle, you have the sponsorship. So all this automatically generates. Sponsored by Planable, the ultimate content, collaboration network, the graphic, of course the graphic's clickable, it has the links that you can click. And so it tracks how many clicks you get, and then you get paid accordingly. And Beehive just released this cool feature. So if I go to posts, and I go to the one where that ad was featured, you actually get click maps now, which is super cool. So right off the bat, when someone opened up the newsletter, 16 people clicked this Bot Eat Brain logo, which takes you to the Bot Eat Brain website, and then 20 people clicked read online. And this is particularly useful when you're looking at how your ads performed. So for this, 15 people clicked right off the bat before reading anything. So they read the title, which I A/B tested. If you want to hear about A/B testing, leave me a comment, let me know. I can go over A/B testing and show you how I do that. And really that could be a video all on its own. A/B testing is one of my favorite parts of running a newsletter, honestly. But yeah, so 15 clicks right off the bat. People don't even know what Planable is, or Planable. They just immediately clicked it. And that's because, in this case, Bot Eat Brain has 22,000 subscribers. We've been writing since September 2022, and the sponsors that we have are typically AI tools to increase your productivity, or tools to help professionals do more. It takes a little bit off their plate. So people know that at this point when they read a Bot Eat Brain newsletter. So that explains these 15 clicks here. They're just like, oh, if Bot Eat Brain says it's good, it's worth checking out. So then the click maps, you know, that 9 people want to sponsor it. 16 people were reading this, but they weren't subscribed, so they subscribed to it. So then, if you do this through direct sponsorships, the ads, you can give them pictures and show them, like, literally, this is how your ad performed. 15 people right off the bat clicked, 6 people clicked this graphic, which is not a lot of clicks for a graphic, so that means the graphic could probably be improved. 8 clicks for the first introduction of the name, and then the call to action got 5 clicks. So not only can you provide your sponsor with how many clicks it actually got, you can show them the click map, which is super cool. But in the case with Beehive ads, it does it automatically. And then so once, I'd say at about a month after the ad goes live, then you can go here and you can see how the ads actually performed. So how many clicks it got that are verified, and then how the ads actually performed and how much you actually ended up earning from that ad. So that's pretty cool. Now, direct sponsorships are a little bit different. So, if you're going to do a direct sponsorship through Buddy Brain, it would look something like this. So a sponsored shout out is the main one. That's the one that you just saw where it's, this article is sponsored by Planable in that case. And then you have classified ads. So the way this works, you get one sponsor shout out for 145. You get 3 sponsor shout outs for 285. You know, you could save 30%. You got to give some incentive for people to package those bundles. And if you want to copy my exact passion fruit, feel free to do that. And if you have any tips on how to improve this passion fruit, that'd be cool too. Yeah. Or if you have any questions on how I set this up, why I set this up the way I did, how sponsorships work. Once people book, what happens after that, I can certainly run through that. So anyways, your classified ads are going to go at the bottom. In the case of Buddy Brain, it's typically going to be like an AI tool or a service that'll help like a business owner. So the way I package that in my newsletter is if I go, so that's the main sponsor, right? And then at the bottom here, there'll be like a recommended reading, right? A high signal. By the way, this is a great newsletter. I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor. I'm actually subscribed to it. My man Pete writes it. I'll put his name in his handle in the comments. So anyways, that's how it would look like if you got a classified. And I would encourage you to do it this way too. And a lot of times I'll do like cool tools here, and then a little write up, a link that you can click, a graphic. People love graphics. You got it, and the call to action, and if you can get testimonials too, that'll definitely encourage people to buy too. Especially if it's their first time seeing the ad, something like a classified. If you get some testimonials, it'd be even better if you get some testimonials from people that that are relatively well known. You can say these reputable people enjoyed my product, and so we'd slap it in there. As you see here, newsletter platform, I got an ad for Beehive, which is the email platform that I use to write this newsletter. And so that's how a classified ad would look, something like that. So now let's talk about direct sponsorships a little more. So let's say you have someone that actually sponsors the newsletter, right? So someone pays 145 bucks. They decide on August 20th they want to rock and roll. So how that looks is on their end, they'll push book now. They will put in their information, and they'll pick a specific date that they want to rock and roll. So when that happens, on my end, I'll go to my calendar, which is directly in Passion Fruit. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. That's my dad, everybody. Hi. Yeah, so you'll go to your calendar here. And so the way this works in Passion Fruit, you have the orange sponsors, which are your main sponsors. These are the people that got the sponsored shout-outs. And then you have the pink ones, which are classified. And so it automatically puts it here, so you know that this is when the person actually booked, and you're ready to rock and roll. And then I don't know if I can show you specific examples because I don't. So the way that works with that is they'll sponsor it. They'll actually put it. The Passion Fruit puts it automatically on this calendar, and you'll go back and forth. You'll request the payment, and you'll request how the ad creative is going to look. And then you obviously want to be helpful. You want to say what has worked well in the past, what hasn't worked well in the past, and you'll go back and forth a couple times. And then you'll request payment, and then on that day, the ad goes live. Now, typically for me, I wait for a week, maybe 2 weeks. I give the analytics time to kind of catch up and then I follow up with the sponsor, whoever sponsored the newsletter, and I tell them exactly how the ad did. This is how many opens the email got. This is how many total impressions it got. This is how many clicks it got. And then depending on how much they paid, you can say this is your exact CPC, cost per click. And if it's good, you say, that's great, let's do it again. And then if it's not good, you can say maybe it happened because the copy was weak, the graphic wasn't super compelling, the call to action wasn't great. So, and you know, that's data. So the more newsletters you write, the more data you have to actually help them out. So if you have any specific questions as far as monetizing your newsletter, how ads work, direct sponsorships, Beehive's ad network, that's why I'm live streaming right now. So drop a comment. We're live streaming at in Twitter, which is where I'm mainly active, or X now, and then we're doing Facebook and YouTube. And full disclosure, I'm new to multi-streaming, so I'm trying to figure out how to do more channels than that. But for now, I'm honestly just pumped that I can do that. I mean, we live in a time where you can broadcast high quality video, world quality audio to any social media platform all over the world, and you're in your home. It's really cool. I'm feeling it. So I'm still optimizing that whole process. So let's talk a little bit more about Beehive's ad network. So like what kind of earnings can you expect? What kind of ads do you get, et cetera, et cetera? That's something that interests you. Let's dive into that a little bit. So here are some of the ads that I get. Again, I'm an AI newsletter, so mine are going to be AI, how to grow your business, how to be more productive in your day-to-day life, in your professional life, that sort of thing. So Writer is they help you make AI apps. So that's like a no-brainer. Grow School, they help you learn about AI, and it starts off free, so that's performed well in the past, and so they keep sending me those ad opportunities, which is cool. Gamma's an AI tool. HubSpot, HubSpot. So that's the great thing about Beehive's ad network is, what if you just start a newsletter and you just want to start bringing in a little bit of money, like Beehive is a great way to do that, because it doesn't matter how big your audience is, they guarantee that they will send you some ads, and it's on a cost per click basis. So worst case scenario, you put the ad in your newsletter, no one reads it, no one cares, no one clicks. And that's not the worst thing in the world. It still makes you look more legit because you have a sponsor on your newsletter. And if it gets one click, the sponsor's happy because they wouldn't have gotten that anyways. So it works well both ways. As far as actually implementing a Beehive ad into your newsletter, let's talk about that. So let's go to posts. Let's go to in progress, since I haven't finished this one yet. So this is exactly what it would look like right here. So let's say I'm doing the newsletter, I did my main course, and now it's time to do the ads. So I did what I showed you before. I got the ad, I accepted the ad, I like this version of the ad, and I put it in the calendar. La-di-da, the day comes, it's time, you've written the newsletter, it's time to put the sponsor in. Sponsored by Grow School, right? Bam. You just push plus, you go to advertisement, and you slap the ad in there. And it does it, in this case it's Writer, so I'll switch this to Writer. And then it does everything on the back end for you. So if I go to preview, it automatically puts this in here in partnership with Writer. And then if I click this, obviously it goes to Writer's website. And then if this was live, if this was an actual newsletter, it would track that you click that, and then Writer would pay you on their end. And then it automatically puts the ad wherever you decide to place the ad. So if you have multiple ads for the same day, you can have one ad as a primary ad, and then you can come down here, you can do the exact same method for your classified ads, which means more money, which is a beautiful thing. By the way, if you have a pet and you send it to me, either you DM me or you send it to the Body Brain newsletter, there's a chance to be featured in the Body Brain newsletter. So over 22,000 AI enthusiasts will see your beloved furry creature if you send in your pet. Bam. So, what else can I talk about? Is there anything in particular you guys want to hear about as far as creating a newsletter, monetizing a newsletter, maybe what it looks like if you're just doing cold outreach and you're just trying to attract clients through a direct sponsorship basis? Let me know. That's what this live stream is for. I juggled a bit at the beginning, and I could juggle again for you. Yeah, so on the direct sponsorship side of things, let's check this out. Sponsor shoutouts. You want packages. Packages are good. I actually intend on adding more packages. I'm intending on doing more live streaming, more videos, and if someone's already sponsoring the newsletter, they're probably going to sponsor the other newsletter's content. So if it's just that article, it'll be just that article, or maybe they could pay for a tweet, they could pay for a video, they could pay for to be featured in the multi-stream, etc., etc. So the sky's the limit, and that's what you want to focus on when you create your storefront. You want to figure out what are your strengths, what are your current strengths. Like, if you have a huge audience on Facebook, that could be something that you could sell. Like for $50, I'll say thank you for sponsoring the Body Brain newsletter on the Facebook page. And then you can get into, if you do Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Product Hunt, whatever YouTube, wherever you're active on and successful in, you can start bundling multi-platform ads, which is a bigger incentive. So it's not just the newsletter that's getting sponsored. You're also getting your sponsor reach on multiple different platforms. Especially if they do it at one time, then it's just boom, they get a bunch of reach, and then you have all the data, and you can tell them how the ad performed, and you can do another package. So right now I have 1 sponsor shout out, I have 3 sponsor shout outs, 5 sponsor shout outs. I have a classified, and that's my main, that's a selling point that I go into a lot. I can say, you can be featured to 22,000 AI enthusiasts for $50. And people hear that and they're like, that's a great deal. And then it gets them to this page. So, and a lot of times they'll just go ahead and they'll click the classified, but then some of these offers are too sweet to pass up. And that's when you want to give people. Single classified ad. You get 3 classified ads for $95, irresistible. 5 for $145, get out of here. And like I said, you could also be tweeted. You could be part of our Discord community. And our Discord community is engaged because it's part of our referral program. So in order to be a part of Body Eat Brain's Discord, you have to refer somebody. And once you refer somebody, then you're in. So a shout out there would be valuable as well. And then you have packages. This is good for once someone's vetted you, once someone's like seriously interested in being a sponsor. Or if they just want to try you out, this is a good way to do it too. So if you just do 1 sponsor shout out and 3 classified. Because you got to look at the data. Sometimes you do a classified ad and it performs just as well as a sponsored shout out. And for a third of the price, that's something to consider. Maybe for the same money, you could sponsor multiple weeks of a newsletter, which would generate a ton of traffic, a lot of awareness because people would just keep seeing you. And you could do that for the same price of a couple shout outs. So that's where the packages get super interesting. Partner tier, 1 tweet, 10 sponsorships, 5 classifieds, all good stuff. And then you can literally book the entire month, which actually has happened a couple times. So you want a good mix of prices in there. You want something to get people in the door. You want value packages, and then you want home runs. So that's something to consider. And when you do direct sponsorships, you have that capability. When you do the ad network, you're kind of limited as far as that goes. You can only do the ad how they want you to do it and how you agree to do it. So that's something to consider. I really got to update this. These are solid brands, but we've also had, MIT, HubSpot, sponsored by your brand. So that's going to be a huge selling point on your end when you're creating a passion fruit or any sort of newsletter sponsorship page. The bigger the name, if they recognize the name, that just speaks volumes. That's why you go to any website and it says like as featured in, and it has like that scrolling bar, Forbes magazine, whatever they decide to say. If people have heard of the company and you're associated with that company, that really increases the likelihood of them pulling the trigger. So, and then again, this is outdated too. I really need to feature this, but essentially the idea is, this could be us. Here's what a featured sponsor looks like in our newsletter, and it looks much better than this now. I haven't messed with this in a while. But then you give your sponsors an idea, like this is literally what it'll look like in the newsletter, and they'll see their logo, their graphic, their links, and they won't be able to resist. And then who reads Body Brain? This is helpful because when you have a product and you're trying to advertise, you don't want to just advertise to anybody. You want to advertise to your target audience. So if your target audience aligns with, if their target audience aligns with the people who are actively engaged in your newsletter, then it's a home run. It's a no-brainer. So that's how it looks like on the direct sponsorship side of things. I could certainly get deeper into it if you guys had any particular questions. I just figured, particularly with direct sponsorships and with Beehive's ad network, I've been getting a lot of questions about those lately, and if I've gotten that many direct questions, I figured maybe if I made a video, I could help more people. So if there's anything in particular when it comes to newsletters, monetizing newsletters, leave a comment. This is live. Again, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter right now. So even if you just want to say hi, I'll see it. I think I'll see it. I don't know. I'm pretty new. I'm pretty new to this multi-streaming thing. So the other day I just tried it out with I was just jamming. I had a drum track going, and I was just jamming on the guitar. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd been setting it up all day, and I was amazed that many people tuned in without me, even saying that I was going to do it. It's just an amazing time we live in. You can, from the comfort of your own home, you can you can broadcast professional audio and professional video to anyone anywhere in the world on multiple platforms. It's just crazy to me. I'm still learning it though, so yeah. Let's see, what else can I tell you about ads? Beehive's ad network. Sometimes the payouts are amazing. Sometimes the payouts are not what you want it to be. And where that comes into play is really vetting the sponsor before you just slap it in there. So if it's not a good fit, like, let's see if I can think of a specific example. There was well, that's important because, you know, if there's a company that's like a CBD gummy company, right? And they want to sponsor your newsletter and you just want the money and you say sure, then that's super confusing because people, like in my case, unless you have a CBD newsletter, then it would fit right in. But for my case, I have an AI newsletter, so if I put a CBD gummy ad in, which I've been offered before, it just wouldn't make any sense. It would confuse your readers. In partnership with whatever shroom-tastic psychedelic ad, you know what I mean? It doesn't like make sense. So I would really recommend vetting the companies that you sponsor, because the more people read your newsletter, the more they trust you, the more they get to know you. And if your sponsor looks bad, it makes you look bad, and it makes your brand look bad, and it makes your newsletter look bad, and it hurts your chance of monetizing and getting out to more people. And yeah, I think I'm gonna switch up this royalty-free music. Let's see if we can get something less absolutely depressing. There you go. That track was called Grim History. I'm telling you how to advertise a newsletter sponsor, and it's literally like death in the background. I don't know if that's the vibe we're going for. Newsletters are cool, man. Let's go a little off topic. I'm not seeing any questions on my end, so if you have any questions, drop them. If you have any comments, drop them. This is live. I'm experimenting with multi-streaming, so I'm happy to answer any newsletter question. And let's rock and roll, baby. So another cool thing about Beehive is not only is it a newsletter platform, it also automatically turns your newsletter into blogs. So for any email that you send, it becomes a blog post. So for example, let's do this was a super cool one. Figure just came out with this. Actually, they didn't just come out with it, but they officially unveiled their humanoid robot. Right? So cool. It's the future. I mean, if I can get a humanoid robot that makes me breakfast in the morning and does my laundry, I mean, sign me up. Of course, when they hit production, they're going to be quite expensive, but that's another thing. Anyways, so the cool thing about that is you create the newsletter, you send it out, then you get the data on how it performed, how the open rate was, how many people received the newsletter in their inbox, how many people opened it up, how many people clicked on it, how many people enjoyed it, or how many people ignored it, or how many people unsubscribed from your newsletter. That's definitely going to happen. That's part of the process. It stings, but you know, sweet rejection. It teaches you things. So after you send it out, and this is a good point for your sponsors too. And I don't think MailChimp offers this capability. I used to use ConvertKit. I don't think they do it either. I'm not sure about Substack. Substack might do that sort of thing. But yeah, you send out the newsletter once, and then it becomes a blog post. And then you can get fancy with your SEO. So then you start not only getting email traffic, which you're building up that email list, you also get SEO traffic, which is super cool. Like a couple weeks ago, I just had Bot Eat Brain here, and I talked to Pete, the SEO wizard. If you haven't talked to Pete, the SEO wizard, you definitely should. At some point, I'll put his information in the comments section. but he's literally an SEO wizard. He does magic. And so he told me just to put daily AI newsletter in my H1 heading, and then put daily AI newsletter here as well. And he gave me a whole bunch of other tips. I haven't implemented them yet. I did just those two things, and it sizably, noticeably upgraded my SEO traffic, which is super cool because SEO is definitely a long game. You know, it usually takes a long time to see any results at all, and then once it starts coming, it starts coming. But in this case, I literally changed a couple words, and I started seeing more SEO traffic come. So that's a huge selling point, you know. AI news is good too because it's a hot topic. It's a heavily searched topic. It's hot right now, man. AI, and they come out with new AI models all the time. Seems like every company that takes themselves seriously they have at least some sort of a chat bot, some sort of a customer service assistant. If you're not doing AI, you're kind of falling behind. So that's why AI news works for me. And it's, you know, I'm not the only AI newsletter. There's tons of them out there now. September 2022, we kind of launched at a good time. Like right when ChatGPT launched and really became a big thing, we were able to leverage that snowball. So that's something to consider. I mean, I think we've done around 350 total articles for Body Eat Brain since September 2022, and you gotta think all of those are on the website, targeting for SEO traffic and bringing traffic. So as far as your sponsors, you can say that to them too. You're sponsoring the newsletter. Here are the stats from the email blast, but also you sponsored us, and for the rest of time, we're still going to bring you traffic because people are still going to be clicking these links, and they're still going to be clicking your link. Especially if it's like especially if you write about something that's heavily searched, like a particularly hot topic, then you'll just, every time you check the analytics, you'll see those clicks for your sponsors really increasing. Good stuff, man. I feel like with this royalty-free music, it's like we got a Bob Ross thing going on, you know? Yeah, so let me show you some Appen. All right, so this was a direct sponsorship. Appen, they took advantage of the package of 5 sponsorships. So they did 5 sponsored shoutouts. So they sponsored there, and then in the middle they get their own ad. Now the benefit of doing direct sponsorships for your newsletter is your sponsors have complete control of how it actually looks in your ad. So with the case with Appen, they ran 5 ads, and then every single ad had a different title, copy, graphic, and call to action. So that's 5 different times people are seeing your ad or your newsletter sponsor's ad, and then they can see, because you can give them the data, which one performed the best. So then the next time I run Appen, I can say, this is how the total sponsorship went. Here's how the worst performing one performed. Here's how the best performing one performed. And obviously you say, this one performed the best, maybe we should push this one hard. And then that's valuable data that's unique to your audience, which makes it more valuable. By the way, guys, if you are watching this, or if you just tuned in, we're talking about newsletters. We're talking about monetizing your newsletter, no matter what your size is. Even if you start a newsletter today, you can essentially monetize it immediately. Might not happen the same day, but you'll get ad offers within a couple weeks, which is super cool. If you're thinking about doing a newsletter, that's some pretty good incentive. You know, you're not going to become a millionaire, and a lot of people have this conception about newsletters that it's like a passive income stream. I certainly wouldn't say it's a passive income stream. It's a lot of work. You have to, well, let's talk about what you have to do. You have to, first of all, write the newsletter, which before I bought Body Eat Brain, I wrote for it. I also have a marketing and a web development company. So Body Eat Brain was like a marketing client for me at one point before I bought it. And that was brutal. But I learned how to write in a journalistic way, and in a way that captivates, in a way that engages. So not only for a reader, you're really enjoying reading the newsletter, you're getting a lot out of it. As far as the time that you spend reading it, you're getting a lot of information, and that takes a lot of trial and error. If you just write what you want to write, well, it depends what you're trying to do. I mean, no, this is an AI newsletter. If you're trying to write about a passion of yours, like if you really love yo-yos, and you just, you know, write about the latest yo-yos, your favorite tricks to do with yo-yos, it's a tutorial of how to do a yo-yo trick. I mean, that would make an awesome newsletter. And then the tone of voice of that would obviously be different than something that's, you know, news related. News, you have to be, well, I guess you don't have to be. There's plenty of news channels, newsletters, outlets that have no journalistic integrity, but we won't go into that. So you gotta play around with it. Like, people ask me why, how you pick a newsletter niche. So I would say, first of all, you gotta pick something that you're genuinely passionate about when you're writing a newsletter, because you're gonna be writing it a lot, especially if you want to monetize it. Like, if you want it to be worth your time, then you have to write about something that you're genuinely passionate about. You know, the sponsors will come eventually if you just keep pumping out newsletter content. The sponsors will come. So when they come, you know, you gotta write newsletters. Like Body Eat Brain, we typically do 5 articles a week, and it's got to be fresh every time. It's got to have new information. And, you know, some weeks there's an incredible amount of AI news that like, yeah, this definitely needs to be covered. This is huge. This changes the game. Let's put that in the newsletter. Some weeks, you know, not a whole lot happens. So you gotta really do that, like, strategically. So if you get to the point where you're writing 5 newsletters every week and you're not passionate about the topic, that's not sustainable. Like, you're gonna be like, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's too much work. So I would definitely recommend that you write about something that you're passionate about. The other thing that you really need to do is it needs to be profitable. It needs to be something that can make money. And the way you do that is you niche down. So if you take something like candy, right? If you do like a candy newsletter, which would be awesome. And a yo-yo newsletter would be awesome too, by the way. But you don't want to just do candy because it's broad. You know, it's like marketing. Like, you don't want to just do marketing. You want to do like, you know, content marketing, Facebook marketing, social media marketing. You don't want to just be like marketing, because then, well, first of all, there's tons of marketing newsletters, so you won't stand out. And second of all, what do you cover if it's that broad? So, you know, a lot happens in AI. A lot happens. you know, as far as AI, like, you could talk about how AI is bad. You could talk about how AI is good. You could talk about how AI is changing industry. You can talk about like really, really technical specs of AI models. So that's why I do AI news that's relevant for people trying to increase their productivity, professionals. I want people to read the newsletter and have actionable advice on AI. Try to make sense of it, especially now, because there's tons of AI newsletters. It's like crazy, and there's more every day, and it makes sense. You know, it's a hot topic. It's not going anywhere. AI is in everything, and it's going to be in everything. So when you're picking a niche, that's super important. It's got to be it can't be super broad, and it has to be something that can make money too. Yo-yos would be good. Yo-yos would be better than toys, for example. So, yeah. It's music, man. Can you guys hear the music on your end, by the way? That would be helpful feedback on my end, because I can hear it. It's just nicely in the background, and my vocals are on top of it, which is what I'm intending. I'm hoping that's what you're getting. Hopefully it's not blaring music in your end. Alright. Well, it's 1:08. If you guys have any questions about AI newsletters, about newsletters in general, about building newsletters, about anything newsletter related, drop a comment. I'd be happy to answer it. Let me know. If not, I actually have to write a newsletter, so I think I'll do that otherwise. And if you did comment and I didn't see it, I do apologize. The multi-streaming thing, it's super cool. I'm pumped about it, but I'm still figuring it out. Like I added this Buddy Brain logo here today. I kind of figured out how to actually screen share today. The other day when I did my jam sesh, that was more just to test like the audio part of it. So it's all coming together slowly but surely, and doing these live streams is remarkably helpful for getting feedback and seeing, you know, where I need to improve, what I'm trying to do that's working, and what's not working. So it's cool, man. Yes, indeed. If you guys have any questions about newsletter monetization, making sweet, sweet funds from a newsletter, I'm your man. This is your time. Drop a comment. We'll riff, we'll raff, we'll talk. We'll have a good old time. We'll listen to some soothing, royalty-free music. Good stuff, man. Monetization is good. Monetizing a newsletter is better than not monetizing it. If you're gonna write it anyways, you might as well monetize it. Beehive ad network, can't say enough good things about it. Once you start doing direct sponsorships, passion fruit's the way to go. I'll leave links to both of those. And I think that's a good place to stop. Take care, guys. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate your support. And I'll see you soon.